Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I have two very interesting articles, and I think they are revealing US's desperation. I think Al Capone right now is desperate. His plans in Ukraine do not go as Al Capone wished, and I think he's trying right now to distract the baboons from a failure, pointing out to another enemy, and that is China. So they're going to connect again China with Russia. Then we're going to make the connection. Therefore, we have to fight the axis of evil, we the allies. All right, so let me show you here two articles coming from the Telegraph, one of them, and the other one coming from Business Insider. Very interesting. I will claim that these articles, these revelations, come after Yellen told the Chinese that they have an overproduction and they invade the market with cheap manufacturing goods, with goods. So you sell them too cheaply. We can't compete with you. So we got to find something. Remember, like let's say there's a country and the country doesn't follow orders, immediately these guys will find out some human rights violations in those countries. All of a sudden. So let me show you the first article, the one from the Telegraph. I think it's just an order. The Telegraph. China sending Russia rifle scopes, I'm quoting, tank parts and rocket fuel. There you go, man, right now. 8 hours ago today on April 7th, 2024. They didn't know this yesterday or the day before. It just coincides with something else, which is right here. I would dare to claim. Reuters. This is not like that. All right. This is from April 5, this Jewish American Treasury Secretary, together with Blinken, who is the Jewish American Secretary of State. These guys. And they are attacking the Chinese now after they attacked the European Putin for Zelensky-Stein. No connections, no relation, okay? No relation. Don't do anything about it. So remember, Yellen says global concerns growing over China's excess industrial capacity. I think this triggered this revelation, as well as this revelation from Business Insider, which is again from today. China is providing satellite intelligence for military purposes to Russia. US warns, says report. So who do you think made this claim? So remember, we have this lady doll, baby doll, whatever she is, Yellen. We have this ugly motherfucker right there. There she is. All right, we have her. All right, and then we're gonna have, let's see who here. Who here? China has ramped up support for the Kremlin's war in Ukraine by sending rifle scopes, tank components, rocket fuel, and satellite images to Russia. US officials, plural, have said. Their warning came on the eve of two-day mission to China by Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov to discuss the Ukraine war. Not only I covered that in a video today, and they did not discuss only that, many other issues. US officials told Bloomberg on condition of anonymity that Anthony Blinkenstein, US Secretary of State, briefed European allies this week on China's increased support for Russia. And you have Yellenstein telling us about the problems over there. Let's help Zelensky-Stein, I guess, no? They also said that China was sending microelectronics, propellants used in missile production and turbojet engines to Russia, sidestepping Western sanctions. Well, okay, well, Western sanctions against Russia, what does China have to do with that? Well, you follow orders, but China will not. Vladimir Putin has courted China heavily since his invasion, but Beijing has appeared reluctant to be seen propping up his military. That's false. I didn't hear Putin saying anything about Beijing saying anything, but hey, this guy's, that's why it's false. I haven't heard him saying that. They have information. Well, I haven't seen it yet. Now, with Russia taking ground in eastern Ukraine, that appears to have changed. This is a bullshit paragraph. Or right there, 2 sentences of BS. Russia is outgunning Ukrainian forces across the front line because the West has struggled to supply promised ammunition. Why are you involved? You shouldn't be involved. You shouldn't have tried to destroy Russia. All right, that's the first one. Second one, military defense, Business Insider. China is providing satellite intelligence for military purposes to Russia. US warns, says report. I don't believe the report because they lied before. Remember with the weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. Sorry, you fucked up real bad. That was the cherry on the cake. Don't forget the Gulf of Tonkin as well in Vietnam. That was another one, just to mention in passing. Okay? The US has warned its allies against the axis of evil that China is providing geospatial intelligence to Russia. China and Russia have grown closer in recent years after declaring a no-limits friendship in 2022. Why did China and Russia have grown closer? Because you motherfuckers try to destroy both of them. And that's what they do. They get together. They were not so strong, so they said, together we can fend this mofo Al Capone off. It's your fault. Yes, your fault, Al Capone. But the blame will not be placed on Al Capone whatsoever. Why? Infallibility of Al Capone. Unless it's against a certain kind of group, then it's all, or 2 groups. It's always guilty of something, United States. The US warned of, and I'm going significant consequences should Chinese companies support Russia's war effort. Like what? Okay, the US has warned its allies of China. Okay, after 2 countries' military collaboration strengthens, China is providing Russia with geospatial satellite imagery for military use. Now, don't be baboons. Do you think the Russians are what? Looking with like that or with binoculars? Don't they have satellites? What kind of geospatial satellite imagery could possibly the Chinese provide them? I think the Russians are way ahead of China in that department, I would claim. Don't you think? Why? Because they are way ahead of sending satellites before these guys. What are you talking about? China did not catch up. But anyway, baboons don't know shit. The news comes a month after a report by London-based Royal United Services Institute, RUSI, warned that Russia was increasingly in cooperation with China in 5G and satellite technology. Okay, why? Oh, they're bad dudes, right? Geospatial intelligence integrates data from a network of technologies ranging from satellite to mobile sensors, ground control stations, and aerial images. And the Russians have none of that, right? They're just still, invented the wheel 3 days ago. The data is then used to produce real-time maps and simulations to help identify military threats, according to the European Union Satellite Center. And again, the Russians are baboons or something? Jesus Christ, man. China's assistance also includes support microelectronics and machine tools for tank production, optics, missile fuels, and greater space cooperation, according to sources familiar with a matter interviewed by Bloomberg. And they are anonymous under the condition of anonymity. Okay, let me give you some news. I spoke with some sources that tomorrow Jesus Christ is going to come back. He called them. I can't say who they are. Sources familiar with the issue. They told me. I can't reveal their names and identities. Why? Confidentiality issues. Like CIA. You're guilty. We know that. We're not going to provide you the evidence because you're going to find out how we found out. And we're not going to reveal our sources, endanger our brave men and women and they in the fucking shit. Okay? How like that? These guys can claim whatever. Bloomberg. Do I believe Bloomberg? No. They mention, they use sources familiar with the matter that are anonymous. They're confidential. They did not provide an identity. That's zero. I can say I spoke with the saints yesterday. Saint Peter came and talked to me yesterday. Can you say no? Can you say no? I tell you the exact time when he came to me. And he said, Emil, yes, Saint Peter, yes. It's exactly how it happened. Can you say no? You can't. You can't. The same I can say, hey, Bloomberg, but hey, I don't have antecedents. I didn't lie. Right? These guys, Right? Satellite imagery has played a critical role for both sides of the war in Ukraine. And how many satellites does Ukraine have? And whose satellites Ukraine uses? Don't give me the commercial ones, because they're not so good as the military ones. So your satellites, what the hell are you talking about? So you're guilty 50 times before these guys, you claim they're guilty. Beat it, like Michael Jackson, beat it. In October 2022, Russia said commercial satellites used by the United States to assist Ukraine, let me show you this, right here. Commercial satellites used by the United States to assist, to help, to show them where to hit in Ukraine in its war against Russia were legitimate targets for attacks. No? I think, yeah. You provide my neighbor that I'm fighting with any weapon that would hinder my efforts, you are involved. Right there, legitimate target. Private assets like Elon Musk's Starlink, satellite terminals, and Maxar and Planet Labs Earth observation satellites have proven critical in keeping Ukrainians online. Good for you. Good for you. So, let's say China, and I don't have doubts, I mean, I'm, let's say 99% certain China gives Russia shit, military shit, and assistance. What can you do? They didn't expect this. Or if they expected, they wanted it to happen. They knew, oh, we're going to do it. China will get in. We're going to get in Taiwan. And then we're going to push a button over there. We're going to push a button as we are ready right now in Iran. They are ready. They're celebrating that great achievement to get Iran where Iran says, you know what? We're going to smack someone. Ah, woo-hoo. And everybody's hey, that's exactly what they do right now in the White House. Minus Biden, who's in the basement for about 23 hours, 45 minutes a day. My friends, you got Blinken, you got Yellen, you got Schatz, Defense Minister of Great Britain, you got Prime Minister of France, you got Zelensky Stein, you got Schmihalstein, you got Yermak, you used to have Reznikov, and many more. All right, my friends, do not connect any fucking dots. Thank you very much for being with me again today. They're not going to do anything about it. They're going to say, well, we're going to sanction you, we're going to do that. It's going to be right in our faces. This war is not going to be behind threats and flexing muscles. What are you and what can you do? And you know who's going to be affected the most? Get a mirror, as I did, and we're going to both look in the mirror and say, hey, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the whitest, the fairest of them all? Not me. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just. And let's dance a little bit more here.